Nowadays, students across this country has experienced online learning due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Although the pandemic has already long ended, online classes are still frequently being used in many universities. Because of that, our group has conducted a study among students from our own courses, find out whether online classes are still relevant or physical class are more preferred.
Hi, my name is Wanur Anshamimi binti Wan Endut and my mention number is 084864. Today, I will explain the population and sampling method that we use in this project. The population for this research consists of all students in class AIF3. This class was selected because it is clearly defined, accessible and directly relevant to our topic on student learning preferences. However, since it is not practical to collect data from every student, we selected a sample to represent the population. In this project, we use simple random sampling method where each student in the class has an equal probability of being chosen. To ensure randomness and reduce selection bias, we use an application that called as PitName Generator to randomly select 10 students as sample by using their class name list. This method is appropriate because it promotes fairness, avoid bias, and increase the reliability of our data. Therefore, the sample selected is more likely to represent the overall population in this project.
Hi, my name is Arena Susanti binti Muhammad. Now I will briefly explain our questionnaire. We designed our Google form consisting of 6 clauses and a question. Clause and a question were chosen because they make response easier to analyze and allow us to present the result clearly using graph. First, we ask students about their preferred learning mode, whether they prefer online, physical, or hybrid learning. This helps us understand their initial learning preference. Next, question 2 and question 3 ask students to rate the effectiveness of online learning and physical learning using the same 1 to 5 scale. Using the same scale is important because it allows a fair and direct comparison between both learning methods. In question 4, we ask what factor affect their learning effectiveness the most, such as internet stability, focus, teacher interaction, or peer support. This helps us identify the main challenges faced by students. Question 5, we show how frequently students experience difficulty in online learning, whether often, sometimes, or rarely. Finally, question 6 asks which learning approach is overall more effective for academic success. This question helped us from our initial conclusion. Overall, the questionnaire was designed to compare online and physical learning, identify challenge in online learning, and support our finding with clear and measurable data. Now, I will pass the presentation to my team lab to present the key findings for our study.
Hi, my name is Nadira binti Muhammad Zulkifli. Today I will explain this chart. So this chart shows the learning preference of 10 respondents. So 50% of respondents prefer physical learning, while another 50% prefer both learning and physical learning equally. No one choose online learning only. This means that many students still like physical class because they can learn face-to-face with lecturer and friends. At the same time, some students also enjoy using both online and physical learning because it is more flexible and convenient. Overall, the results show that students will still prefer physical learning, but online learning is also popular. So for the second chart, show how respondents rate the effectiveness of online learning. 60% of the respondents give a natural rating, 30% rate online learning is ineffective, and 10% rate it as effective. No respondent select very ineffective or very effective. This means that most students think online learning is average. Some students feel that online learning is not very effective, possibly because of distraction or internet problem. However, a few students still think online learning is effective because it is flexible and convenient. This chart shows how respondents rate the effectiveness of physical learning. 50% of the respondents rate physical learning as effective, while 30% rate is very effective. Another 20% give a natural rating. These results show that most students believe physical learning is effective because they can communicate directly with lecturer and classmates. Face-to-face learning also helps students focus better and understand lesson more clearly. Okay, for the next chart, we can see 70% of the respondents choose teaching method, while 30% choose learning environment. No respondents selected internet access and technology. This means the most students believe the way lecturers teach has the biggest impact on their learning effectiveness. A good teaching method can help students understand lesson better and stay interested in class. Besides that, the learning environment also play an important role in helping students focus and learn comfortably. As you can see, our second last chart shows 60% of respondents said they sometimes face difficulties, while 20% said they rarely experience difficulties, and another 20% said they often experience difficulties. No respondent choose never or always. This means that most students still face some challenges during online learning. The difficulties may include internet connection problem, distraction at home, or lack of focus during online class. However, the problems are usually not experienced all the time. For our last chart, 70% choose physical learning, while 30% said both online and physical learning are equally effectiveness. This means that many students prefer face-to-face class because they can focus better and understand lesson more easily. No student choose online learning as the most effective, and nobody said that neither method is effective. In conclusion, physical learning is still the preferred learning method among most students.
In conclusion, every student has their own preferences between online and physical learning. Both methods offer their own advantage and disadvantages in terms of effectiveness, learning environment, flexibility, and convenience. Online learning provides a greater flexibility and accessibility, while physical learning encourages better communication, focus, and interaction between students and lecturers. Therefore, a balanced combination of online and physical learning are recommended to create more effective and enjoyable learning experience for students.